Hello, this is Dennis Daniels. I am going to give you a nice, hopefully a nice demonstration of a very nice application called Moodle and how you can manage quizzes in your learning environment using Moodle. It's quite powerful and continues to improve, and I think you would, if you're a teacher and tired of pushing paper, Moodle would be a very nice alternative for you to consider. If you're having trouble, or if you have trouble reading the fonts, and you'll see what I mean here in a moment with the small screen, consider downloading this video so that you can watch it at a higher res. Again, demonstrate how Moodle can automate your test grading for multiple choice, fill in the blank, matching, and true-false. That said, Moodle is a great product, but there at this time is not an easy tool for correctly formatting the test type for creating test questions. It's a very manual process with lots of fields, and there is an import function that offers some great alternatives, but it only works under a proprietary application which shall remain nameless. And so JavaScript solution would be much appreciated. Something open source solution, something that can be easily handed off to a student in a simple email or downloaded off the website. JavaScript seems like the best alternative. That said, let's get into why Moodle is so nice. One of the things, it's free and it's easy to use and set up. We'll get into one of the reasons why I'm doing these trainings after we show you what Moodle looks like. I've already created a quiz. You can see here. I have 1 to 2 quizzes per week for my students, and you can see that it tells reports for the number of students. Which is quite nice. This is something actually that the journals and assignments interface could use quite a bit in terms of number of reports just for the students who've actually done the assignment or done the test, as we'll see here. This is the final quiz, so that's where we're focusing right now. This is you're looking at the interface I've turned off. You can see this. I can zoom in a little bit. I'm using Firefox, so I can zoom in fairly easily. It shows what, I don't know. Shows the full name. This needs more information. Show picture. That rollover should have the show picture in it. Show full name, which is very nice. This is, I don't recall when this was added, but this makes it very nice so that you can get rid of unnecessary information. I'll show you what it means to do that. You just by clicking on the minus sign, you squeeze a lot more data into your pages. This is a very nice feature. So what we have are a couple problems here. Namely, these tests are still open. Not quite sure why, but I am going to delete them. So you select them over here, and you can scroll down. I'm not going to select all. I can deselect all, which is nice. But right here, I'm going to delete those 2 options. It's going to, well, I thought it was going to prompt me to say something like, "Are you sure?" But it did not. That would be nice if it did. Let's go ahead and sort the grades. We can see the high scores and low scores fairly quickly. And as well, we can set the viewing. We can set the viewing interface to pick only the students we want from a particular group. That feature would be nice here, but again, Moodle is an open source application. Until I become a code master, I can't complain too much about what is missing. That said, let's show you some other things that you can do with Moodle. I'm going to target my lower scoring students to see if there's any particular problems. Let's go with this one. I don't know. I'm randomly choosing them. Let's show all questions on one page. And we scroll down. You can see that the correct answers are marked green. And Some computers do not have a motherboard. That's a question. Okay. So I'm looking for questions that might be incorrectly formatted or have errors in the test question themselves. Something that really needs to have happen is a place for students to challenge a question. And let me show you what I mean by that. Let's see if there's a preview button here. Let's see. No, there's no preview in this case, so I can edit them. It'll take me. This is a very nice feature, by the way. You see a question, you click on it, and it takes you straight to that question. It doesn't include the category in the review of the test questions, which would be very nice. It should have, in this interface, you should have a category for the question type, as well a place when the student is taking the test to challenge the question, so that while reviewing the test attempts, you can see how many students have challenged a particular question, and that way you can zoom in on a question and see if in fact it's a valid question or incorrectly worded, or if there's a spelling error. As much feedback as possible, automated, so that you don't have to dig around to find questions. Because let's take a look at this. I'll show you what I mean. When I go to update this quiz, there's no place for us as teachers save changes and edit questions. Watch this. There's a place for us to search, edit category questions, edit quiz, info reports. I made a random. You can no longer add or remove questions. Well, that's fine. Let's go and edit some category, edit questions. There's no place for me to search these questions. So if I know that there is a particular problem with a question or a word or a phrasing, I can't search, which requires me to go into the database to search the questions, which from a teacher's perspective, from a semi-skilled teacher's perspective, that's not a problem. But for anybody else, not being able to search your question database is a bit of an oversight. Again, that said, Moodle is a great product. And one of the reasons why, if I may digress a bit, that the first world has not embraced computers and technology like Moodle, for example, in the classroom, is because it has the same problem as the developing world. There's no electricity. It's outdated infrastructure or no infrastructure. And until there's a more concerted effort to use power over Ethernet or wireless technologies like the $100 laptop, teachers around the world will still be pushing paper and pencils. Infrastructure problems are nearly identical everywhere, but this shouldn't be a problem because computers and software, at least in the industrial countries, is free or cheap to free. I know computers can be picked up for $10 to $15 in parts of California that would work fine as thin clients. Teachers are not necessarily trained in computing. This is why I'm creating these videos. But you can help by promoting alternatives. The Linux Terminal Server project. I used LTSP and Moodle in my last education environment, and it was quite successful. Lots of support out there online and in the community for LTSP, so give it a thought. Share your wealth and create your own screencasts. Take the fear out of computing. Teachers are not, the younger teachers I find are much more willing to embrace technology, whereas the older teachers are maybe appreciative at best, curious and appreciative at best, and downright scared at worst. Create your own screencasts. Let's build a library of educational material for teachers around the world, so that anybody who wants a good education can get it. Thank you. Again, my name is Dennis Daniels, and send me an email if this helped you or someone you know. And go out and get yourself a copy of Moodle and give it a wing and give it a whirl. Thank you, and happy computing.